I'm talking to um, Jim Peterik, and I can genuinely say that this is bona fide rock and roll royalty, really. Not only rock and roll, I think there's a few more bits and pieces there as well. Jim, I looked at your history, at your musical history, being starting with your first song, your first hit song was in 1966. You were only about 16 then with Ids of March. And I listened to it today, and it's actually great. It has a very Beatlesque kind of feel to it, and that was even around the same time as the Beatles were out. So I think you were probably ahead of your time. So yeah, and I mean, we know you of course also from formerly as Survivor, and you co-wrote one of the rock classics of all time, "Eye of the Tiger." It doesn't really get bigger than that. So, but let me go back first to your first bits of music with Ides of March. Can you talk us through this? How did you get started? I know it's this kind of school band with your friends. So just kind of what gave you that vibe to say, listen, I'm going to start a band now?
Well, we were just, I was still in grade school, but I've known Larry since third grade, who you just met.
Yeah, yeah.
Member of the Ides of March. Ides of March have been together now for almost 59 years. But that I digress. So he starts knocking on my door because I had a band, but I thought they were good. But Larry goes, well, your band's okay, but I got a new band I want to start. And Bob Berglund and I were already learning songs, and you got to come and he didn't say audition, but basically play with our guys. And I said, oh, I got a band. And so he left. A week later, knock, knock, knock. I really think you should come over and rehearse with us. So I lugged my Magnetone amp all the way to his house, his mom's house, and I realized this band is way better than my band, the Renegades, and we became the Ides of March. And I'll tell you, we never looked back. The rest is history.
And I've listened to some of your songs, and it's great. But you've been writing songs, and actually I didn't realize this. You've been writing songs for some of the greats, Foreigner, Sammy Hagar, 38 Special. When I was reading this, I was thinking, did Jim see my list of favorite bands, and did he just decide to to write songs for them?
Yeah,
But
you leaked your favorite list years
yeah,
ago. I just followed it.
that's what I
But
thought.
yeah, no, I've been blessed. I'm kind of a little bit like tofu. I kind of absorb the flavors around me, and I can write with any talented person. I don't care what the genre is. I like to adapt, and like when I write with 38 Special, I know what they are or what they became because part of what they became is part of the collaboration between 38 Special and me. So when I first got together with Jeff Carlisi and Don Barnes, we didn't have a clue what we were going to do together. But Don Barnes goes, well, I have a title. And I go, well, what's that? He goes, hold on loosely. And I go, but don't let go. And and Carlisi goes, well, I got a riff. I said, let's hear it. And he goes, I said, that'll work. And suddenly I become the alchemist in the room and combining the elements. And I go out of the room and I go to another room and I come out with Hold On Loosely, which became their signature hit.
It is a great song. I mean, it's one of the songs I listen to. It's on my playlist, and it's great. I just want to touch on a little song you wrote here for a small movie called Rocky 3. Uh, Eye of the Tiger. I mean, I was thinking, to me, it's one of those what if songs because as I recall, Queen's another one bites dust was in the running for Rocky 3. I was thinking, what if Brian May and Freddie Mercury would have said, "No, yes, go on, you can use it." Well, it would have been a completely different story. Now, I actually played that song on a track while I was watching Rocky 3 one day, and it doesn't sound the same. "Eye of the Tiger" is the perfect song for that. Really, it really is. But how did they get about it? Did Sylvester Stallone knock at your door and say, "Listen, Jim, I have this movie I do. It's like a sequel. Would you be interested?"
Well, he didn't knock on my door, but he left me a voice message. "Hey, yo, Jim," I still remember. He said, "Hey, yo, Jim, that's a nice answering machine you got there. Give me a call at Sylvester Stallone." And I thought it was a joke. It's on the answer machine. My wife says, "You better listen. You better call him. That might be him." And I called him and he answered, "Yo." I said, "Well, that's a good sign." I said, "This is Jim Peterik. Is this really Sylvester Stallone?" He goes, "Yay, Jimbo, call me Sly." So there I am calling my hero Sly, because he was already my hero from the first two movies. And so they got this new movie, Rocky 3, and I like going to fly now, and that's nice, but I want something for the kids, something with a pulse. Can you help me out? I said, "Hell yeah." And I sent us the rough cut of the movie and watched it with Frankie, and I saw Mr. T rising up looking fierce, and Stallone getting soft and doing Master Charge commercials, and I just started going just like that. And I try to coordinate the punches with the chords, and I go, wait for the punch. Screws up drummers worldwide, those extra two beats.
Yeah, I mean, that song is so recognizable. I don't think there's a living soul on the planet who doesn't know that song. Even from the first second you hear, "Oh, this is Eye of the Tiger." There's no second guessing. You know what it is, who the band is. So, and that's what makes it such a powerful song. Now, but this might surprise you to hear. Although Eye of the Tiger is a great song. My favorite song that you actually wrote is actually from the first Survivor album. It's "I'm Not That Man Anymore." Wow. And actually, because I have a story with that album as well. It was given to me as a present because my brother's friend, he knew I was into rock music, and this was pre-internet, pre-anything. So he actually went to the bother to go on to ring a shop in London, ordered the album for me, and was waiting for me at home. And when I first heard it, I fell in love with the music, and especially that song. It's such a great power ballad, as I call it. And
well, I gotta say, Dirk, you're the first person that I can remember that's name checked that song, and it's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really nice song, and then we get into that very celestial middle part, and that just takes it to another level. And yeah, it's a magical song.
Yeah, and it truly is. So yes, and I want to thank you for that, because I've listened to a song so often, and a friend of mine, sadly passed away recently, but he told me before this, because I was never a great academic. Okay, let me put it this way. And he said, "I know why that is, because you listen to Jim's and Frankie's music all the time. It's like the music. You just put it on and you just forget about everything else. Like, forget about the rest. I'm going to listen to this now." So, but
well, I'm very thankful that I could be part of your diseducation.
Yeah, exactly. But hey. Having said that, if I would have gone academic route, maybe I wouldn't be talking to you today. So hey, it's all there for a reason. So, but yeah, I know '88 you passed ways then with the band. So but you've done so many other things, and I understand that the Ids of March is going strong again at the moment.
Yes, we are. We're touring. We play not only our big moment in the sun, a time in the sun, I'm a friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? Texas, can you, I'm a lovable man. Take you to the nearest stop. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now, I'm sure you know that I love ya. I need ya. I want you. Got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. We not only play that one, but we play LA Goodbye, which was a big hit in the Midwest. And we played You Wouldn't Listen, the first song you listened to recently, which was from 1966 on the Parrot label. But we also combined so many of the songs that I wrote for and with other artists. We do a 38 special medley. We do heavy metal that I wrote with Sammy Hagar, which just goes over a storm, you know, and really combine all the groups I've written with, including the Beach Boys, you know. So it's a real variety show when the Ides of March perform.
That's great. You also wrote a song for which I didn't realize. I'm actually, funny enough, have it on a compilation album of an R&B band called Essence, and the song is Sweet Souls.
Sweet Fools.
Sweet Fools, yeah. And I didn't realize, and I recently was listening to it. I thought this is kind of a cool song, and I'd seen your name on it, but I never tied the knot. I thought, well, this can't be the same person, but it's such a cool Motown feel to it as well.
Oh man, you know, and it's, you know, fast forward to today. Not today, but yesterday. I'm still working with Marzette Griffith, the guy that sang Sweet Fools.
Yeah.
He still sounds as good as ever. He's almost as old as I am, if that can be possible. And Essence was an amazing singing group. The blend that those guys had was magical. I didn't know how magical it was till I worked with another R&B singing group, and they just didn't blend like Essence.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a cool song as well. But I think that's more or less, that's like the red line through your musical career. It's quite cool. It's cool music, even in rock and roll terms. Now, I know sometimes some of your music is called like AOR, adult oriented rock, but to me, it's just great. It's great music. It's rock to its core, and that's what I like about it. But me.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, AOR, even easy listening is not a bad word.
No.
One of my favorite songs of all time that I've written or co-written is "The Search Is Over," and you can hear that in a dentist's office, you know. And it doesn't matter if it touches the heart. That's all that matters.
But yeah, that's not a great song. That was by the late Jimmy Jameson. I mean, it was such a sad. I don't get upset often when I hear of an artist dying or passing away, but with Jimmy Jameson, it kind of hit me. But again, it's the fact that I grew up with listening to his music as well. I mean, and that's just
well, Jimmy was amazing, and I was so blessed to work with him because as a writer. He actually improved every song I wrote through his vocal abilities and the lens of the way he thought. And you know, the first time he auditioned for Survivor, you know, Frankie and I were holding auditions, and we almost gave the nod to another singer, but we didn't say yes. And then Jimmy came in and blew the doors off. And the first song we showed him was "The Search Is Over," and I still have goosebumps when I heard, you know, "How can I convince you what you see is real?" I mean, he inhabited every song he sang.
I've created for some people before, and they never never heard the song before, and it gave them the goosebumps. Oh, this is a great song. Listen, so you have to open your mind. Sometimes you have to listen to music, really, because that's what it's all about. Another great song. I'm not sure if you were involved in it. I think you were. It's not a great song by Survivor. Santa Ana Wins. That's one of those epic
What do you mean?
rock songs.
What do you mean? I wrote it.
Yeah. So no,
Yeah,
I kind of
no,
guessed, but I wasn't 100% sure. But
no. You
that's
know, everything by Survivor I wrote or co-wrote.
yeah.
The only thing we've ever done is Moment of Truth for Karate Kid, which was Bill Conti, and a really good song. But that's the only song we ever recorded that either me or Frankie or me alone wrote. Didn't write, rather.
But that's another one of those great ballads. But see, every rock band, in my opinion, has an epic song. To me, that's for Survivor. That was Sent Anywhere. It's like it is on the same level as Smoke on the Water, Deep Purple for me. I
Oh,
compare
geez.
them
Wow,
the
that's
same level.
quite a compliment.
But
Thank you.
it's credit where credit is due. So again, what is your what are your plans going forward, Jim? Are you touring again, or will we ever see you on Ireland? I wonder. I
Oh
mean,
man, well,
the
that would
door
be
is wide open.
a dream come true. Well, we always have plans to go overseas. We almost we're going to do a big show in Italy in October of this year, but for Frontiers, but that was postponed. So hopefully next year for Italy, and then we could just hop over,
Just
to Ireland.
it's only 2 hours flight.
What did you say?
It's only about 2 hours flight, so it's done.
It's
It's
nothing. It's
nothing.
nothing. Yeah, so that's always in the offing. Right now, the new Pride of Lions album drops, as they say now, or gets released, as we used to say, on the 15th of June. It's called Dream Higher. It's one of our best since the first one, I feel. Toby Hitchcock is singing as good or better than ever as his voice ages like fine wine. It's so good and so emotional. So that's going to be a big deal. But then I just signed up with Frontiers for another album for later in the year or even early next year. It's going to be half established classic artists, classic rockers, and half new discoveries. And that's going to be a terrific album to see the contrasts and similarities.
Yeah, that sounds like a great project, and that's coming out when?
Probably early next year.
Early next year. Okay, I'm looking forward to that now. Well, Jim, it was great talking to you. I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're a busy man. I mean, and I'm being selfish. I want you to write more music, so I can enjoy it.
I got to get back to it, but it was a pleasure because you're very, very knowledgeable, and you go back and I really appreciate that. So thank you for your interview.
Yeah, I mean that's no problem. And as I said, I love talking to you, and maybe at some stage we can do this again. Maybe when the album's released in June, if that's okay with you.
I sure hope so.
Yeah,
Dirk, you've been great, and thank you.
you're welcome.
All right.
Talk to you soon again. Bye,
Cheers.
Jimmy.
Bye bye.